guess all of you play drums also.
Yes.
Excellent.
Passa. Vai cá. Com que coisa? Ok?
Com que cosa? Oui?
Eu entendi, cara.
Che? Ragù? No! Vedi che pure sto caso, quella carne. Fai calmo perché in una cartella. Guarda che fondo.
If you haven't grabbed one of those pieces of paper on the front, please do.
I'm playing everything.
Sì? Which one?
Popcorn.
I did last year. What is a jazz choir, but we didn't need this.
Yeah. While people are coming and tell me about it. You should take Huh?
Tu quer?
Guys, and for you.
I'll take it. It's free.
How are you?
Il laterale brasiliano.
From Azzemila.
Serginho Cafu.
I'm from Boston.
Emerson.
Dorchester. What about you? What? Where are you from? Yeah. Dorchester. It's just a town. Where are you from? Brazil.
Bravo.
Brasil?
Yes,
Muito bem.
muito bem. Ni hao.
That's Chinese.
Sorry, bro.
Mexico City.
Really sorry about that.
It's less verdant than Brazil.
What?
It's closer to Brazil than Brazil.
Yeah. You're Latino like me. You're Latino like me.
Yeah, we're Latin.
Yeah, we're like we're together.
Yeah.
I really feel you're so
Handout for everyone who's watching.
There's lots of Latin American people.
Yeah, lots of Latin.
Chileans,
Yeah,
Dominican,
Colombia.
Colombian, Dominican.
I already met several of Mexicans.
Yeah, there are a few of Mexico.
Yes.
Horrible, I thought.
Yes. I have a cousin that lives like 4 or 5 years in Mexico City.
Oh,
You're from there?
yeah, from Mexico City.
Nice. Do you like that?
Yes. The only issue is that our hair is really loaded.
I imagine.
Yeah.
As every big city, every big city in the industrial city,
That's the problem.
that's the problem. Yeah, I bet. We have this problem too in Brazil, and our food is like full of toxics, full of chemistry, plastic. We have this shit problem. And with our president now, Jair Bolsonaro,
Yeah.
he's accepting several
Violations to what?
Well, two, these two, but several reivindications from the agriculture guys like, that just want to produce, and doesn't care about the quality of the food, full of, veneno,
Poison, yeah.
poison, yeah.
Yeah, they prefer
food poisoning, but good food, organic and natural food.
Yeah, we said we're gonna take a break. Got to be our podcast.
Sorry?
Amount instead of quality.
Yes, yes. You know, the profit instead of quality. That's their logic.
Yeah, ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
That's true.
I want more money.
All right. How about this? No sticks required.
Yes,
I can do that.
I can do it.
Ah, talk to me afterwards and I'll tell you how to develop the non-stick, no-stick drum set roll. Drum hand roll. You don't need a drum set. Welcome to 5-week 2019. My name is Sergio Galati. I was also a Berkeley student at some point. I came here in 1995. And then in 1999, after school, my first job was actually teaching 5-week. So this session is very, very dear to me. Lots of careers have started at the 5-week at Berkeley. Many musicians met at the summer sessions. Many 5-week students actually went on to the regular Berkeley College curriculum. There is lots of scholarship opportunities that happen in this program. So you're in something that might really transform your life. Because of that, I'd say take a moment to spiritually thank the people that made it possible for you to be here, whether it's your parents, your sponsors, your personal savings, however you made it possible, or someone made it possible for you to be here. Thank them from the bottom of your heart. Don't take it for granted, because there's lots of places in the world where, you know, the music programs are non-existing in some cases or poor. Here you are, state-of-the-art facilities. You're in a group of people that are like-minded, like you, wanting to do music, wanting to grow together, and make sure you cherish and you really take advantage of all the networking opportunities. Some of the classmates you'll have during these 5 weeks might become your best friends for life. We know it happens. We also know that some of the people that might sit next to you in one of the classes might be tomorrow's stars. So making friendship and connections is very, very valuable. It's one of the things Berkeley is known for. You probably heard the story. The band Dream Theater started here at Berkeley at 5-week. Dream Theater were staying on the same floor in the dorms at a 5-week, of course, many, many, many years ago. And 3 or 4 years ago, they were in town playing a show, and they took a cab in between sound check and performance, and they came to Berkeley because they wanted to visit and, you know, kind of go back memory lane. And they went into the 150 building, and they tried to get in the dorms upstairs. And the security guard said, "Sorry, you can't go. You don't have a Berkeley ID." And they said, "We're Dream Theater." The guy said, "I don't care who you are. I only let people with a Berkeley ID on." But funny story, the band started here during the 5 weeks. So it's very, very exciting. And our goal today, when I say ours, because I'm going to introduce you another key important person here in the department. We are here to represent the percussion department as a whole, which includes drum set, orchestral percussion, hand percussion, and of course mallets. We are here to tell you from our perspective and our angle how we're here to assist you to make sure that you, because of your choice, your instrumental choice being drums or percussion, will be part of our department. And we have some specific classes that are really designed for you to become a better musician. And so what we'll do today is we're going to discuss the content of these classes. And of course, we're going to open, be like an open forum where we can answer some of the questions that you may have. So, on my left, Mr. Jonathan Hullman. Professional drummer himself. He has been working in the percussion department for many, many years, very knowledgeable. So he'll tell you a little more about how to reach him, where to find him, and all the things that he could help you with. So the bottom line, we're here to help you, okay? This program is for you, and I'm going to go through the curriculum as quickly as I can, but before we do so, there's a drum set there for a reason. What could that reason be?
Play some.
Play some. Good. I don't see a band with me, so, okay, well, why don't we do this? Because of what I want to talk about as far as the curriculum, and especially in the technique class, which is one of the required classes that each and every one of you will have. When we think about techniques, we think about sounds also, not just speed and the ability of going fast around the set, but develop a good sound, or I shall say sounds, on the drum set. So what I'm going to do is I'll go on the drum set and I'll demonstrate different rhythms.
Languages.
And they might be very extreme from one another. Could be jazz, could be Latin, could be hip hop, reggae, but it's only one drum set, one set of cymbals, and one pair of sticks. So the only variable would be me, the drummer, the artist, which is you. Remember, it's not really, the brush, it's the painter, okay? So in the technique class, you're going to learn how to develop the ability, which is very, very important, to obtain as many sounds as possible out of the same set. Unlike a guitar player or a bass player, they also work on their tones and, of course, the ability of getting a great sound. But throughout a concert, if they're playing a rock ballad or a power metal track, they might have a specific pedal that will get the guitar to sound a certain way. Then they could go to a clean tone and play something really acoustic and mellow. We, the drum set players, we carry all of this gear, set it up, and once it's set up, we certainly don't change cymbals or snares or toms, bass drum, and you don't go through tuning in between songs. We know that, okay? Maybe a couple of times I might, if I feel the snare drum is going lower on me a little bit, I'll tweak it. But if I'm playing a generic type show where I might be required to go from, say, something with a funk feel and then something a little more jazzier, and then we play a song that has a Latin feel to it, it's me, myself, the cymbals, one set, and I gotta get different sounds. So I'm gonna try to demonstrate different textures, okay? And that might inspire you to appreciate more some of the things that we'll do in the technique class, which is a very important one of the curriculum. Okay? So I'm going to play a few different styles for you. responsibilities. Dynamic range, certain sounds work better with certain styles of music. I didn't change sticks, I didn't change tuning. I used the same setup, but I had to work on how to control, my techniques to accomplish that. So let's start with that class, and then we'll talk about the next important one, which is reading. Okay, and then we'll go through the rest of the curriculum and see if you guys have any questions. So each and every one of you will have a schedule real soon, and you'll be assigned to multiple classes. The ones that are really proprietary to the drum set department here, the percussion department, the first one would be your technical lab. You go in and your teacher will have you go through some routines that will help you to understand better how to hold the sticks, posture on the drums, the differences between playing the snare drum versus the ride cymbal, which involves, moving around the kit and having a different grip. So you'll go through an important curriculum that will stay with you for the rest of your life. If your hands are good now, they'll be great. If they're great, they'll get better. And if they're excellent, there's no such a thing as being on top of the game. You'll always have room to improve. Work on your technical skills again, not because of wanting to go necessarily fast on the kit, but because you want to achieve, the ability of having different sounds. The way we do it in the percussion department is we'll teach you the rudiments. The rudiments, as the word says, is really a basic fundamental skill. And they happen to be 26. The American rudiments are 26, just like the letters of the alphabet. So, just get into that frame of mind that you need to memorize them at some point soon in your career. You may already know a few. We asked some at the auditions yesterday. Okay, so if you know your paradiddle, your 5-stroke roll, blah, blah, blah. Expand, and most importantly, learn what are the different things that you can do with those rudiments, okay? They'll make your entire drumming vocabulary better. Let me say this, that at any given point, you watch a drum performance of anybody, I don't care who. You can pause, zoom in, analyze, break down 2 bars, 4 bars, whatever it is. He or she is playing some sort of rudiments on the set. It's always about your singles, your doubles, your diddles, your rolls, your flam, your rough strokes, and that. So, you got to have those sounds in mind. Taps, doubles, not to be confused with 2 taps. But again, your technique teachers will address those things for you. And then you have your flam sounds, your drags, and then the multiple bounce. Once you have these sounds in place, you can orchestrate a rhythm in so many different ways. So the technique class is extremely fun. Okay, you'll probably also deal a little bit with foot technique. Again, the goal is to make you a better musician. If you get one message out of this presentation on this particular class, is that chops in music, having chops is very important, but that doesn't mean that you can play fast. That is only one aspect of playing music, and probably not the most important. So if you think, that guy or that girl has chops because they can play fast, well, in the music business, you need reading chops, which is what we're going to talk about next, dynamic chops, which comes from reading classical pieces and be able to, caress the snare drum and get a sound out of it. So styles, how many styles do you know? Repertoire chops. So your complete musicianship comes here handy at the school because of the entire curriculum that we have designed. Okay, so as much as today we'll cover all the drum classes and the drum curriculum, you're here for a complete musicianship experience. So treat each and every class just as importantly as you would treat your drum classes, because at the end of the day, you'll be a complete musician only when you really master all of these fundamental skills. Most of the jobs that I do professionally, I play drums, I'm able to function because I recognize the song forms. My ears are trained to look at a song as a complete whole spectrum, not just the drum part. In some bands I do background vocals, and you know, all I hear is a little note from the guitar player maybe on the bandstand before we start the song. From that note, if I know I'm on the fifth, I jump on my note and I have to sing that interval. End of story. These are all skills that I learned when I was at Berklee College of Music. So, you know, it's not only the drum set stuff that is important to you, but the complete package, okay? Moving on. Didn't I say reading chops? Reading chops, very important. Yes, it's true, Buddy Rich didn't read music, and Dennis Chambers doesn't read music. However, as much as you might have heard of those stories, I can tell you that every drummer I know, even if he or she does not read music, they wish they did. Reading music is not going to make a less talented musician. It's a skill that if you have it, will make you more successful. It will give you access to jobs that the ones that can't read won't have access. So go with a big smile in your reading class, because each week you'll be dealing with reading a snare piece, which will teach you basic note values, dynamics, you know, how to read something exactly as is on the snare. But it will also teach you drum set interpretation. Now, when you read for drum set, what's really important to understand is not so much the understanding of the notes that are on paper. That is important. You got to be able to, if you see an accent on beat 4 in bar 2, of course there's an accent, but how do you play that accent? Is it on the snare? Is it on the kick? Is it both? Do I crash? Or do I play, you know, a splash on the hi-hat? All of those things are skills you'll develop in the reading class with your teacher. That is called drum set chart interpretation. So you might see pieces of music that really don't have as much information as a piano chart or a guitar chart, where everything is kind of spelled out. In the drumming reading world, it's more like what you make out of it. So you got to know your note values. Okay, well, on bar 4, I'm playing one figure, only one figure. Of course, you got to know which beat that is. It's coming. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Boom. It's me. But how to do it. And that comes with, you know, working on these drum set interpretation skills that your teacher will surely pass on to you. So technique class, big smile. Reading class, super big smile. I know it's not the most popular class, but put some time into it, and then you'll see the rewards at some point in your life. I promise you that. Cool?
Cool.
Yeah?
Nice.
Yeah. Very important. Both classes. You know, I feel, I actually wrote the curriculum for the technique class, so whatever you'll see in that booklet that the teacher will use and make copies, I pretty much wrote the entire curriculum there. It's not that I wrote it, but I compiled, you know, cool exercises from different books and some of my own. So I really care about both, actually. Reading and technique, I think, are two important skills that the drummer, contemporary percussionist should develop. All right, should we talk a little bit administrative logistics, and then we'll move on to with the rest of the curriculum? Jonathan and I, at this point, you know, you'll illustrate a little bit of some logistics as far as how the department is structured, the facilities, this and that, and then we'll open up for questions. And there's a couple of more things in the curriculum that are important, so but we'll take a break from the specific content of the classes, and we'll talk more about the logistics. How do I do this? How do I do that? And where?
Cool, thank you.
course.
Welcome to 5 Week. Have any of you been 5 Week students before? Cool, so take a look at the hands of the people that went up. These people could be valuable resources to you if you have any questions because they've done it before. One of the most important things that I'm gonna say, and let me introduce myself. My name is Jonathan Ullman. I'm the department manager for the percussion department. Yaron Israel is the interim chair right now. He's traveling in Italy, so he's not going to be back till the 23rd of July. So you will meet him eventually, but he's not here right now. But as your main point of contact while you're here, outside of 5 Week, which should be your sort of main point of contact, the summer programs department, I am your sort of mediary for everything that goes on in your 5 Week time here. So does everybody know where 921 and 1140? We're in 1140, you know where 921 is. So I'm in the basement of 921. You kind of come downstairs around the corner.
Which is the street of 921?
Boylston.
Boylston.
Yeah. So the percussion department is located in 2 buildings, basically 1140 and 921. 921 tends to be more the orchestral, mallets, hand percussion, that stuff down there, whereas 1140 basement and the 4th floor drum set stuff. So here's my number and my email, and some people like to use social media as well, so that's my social media. Feel free to reach out to me on that as well. A couple of things that are that are important for you also to learn: practice rooms. 171 Mass Ave is your main practice room. It's got everything there, so you can kind of just go and hear the hours. Monday through Friday. Just remember, just like anything else, there's a lot of you. I mean, the first group that came in here was, I think, all the seats were filled. So you have all of these people who want to use practice rooms just as much as you do, and the 12-week students are still here. So there are a lot of resources to practice, but just say, you know, if you go at like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock when everybody else is going, you may find that that didn't work and you didn't get a room, so you may want to try 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Also, the percussion website's right here. And one more person that is not here right now, but his name is Lucas, my son. He's the equipment manager. So basically, when you all are practicing in rooms, if you find that any equipment is broken, the hardware's broken, the head's broken, cymbals are cracked or anything, reach out to him, because he doesn't know you're sort of his eyes and ears on the ground, because he won't know if something's broken, but he'll get to it and fix it right away. Just remember, while you're here, there are also the 12-week students are here. You have a whole bunch of 5-week students from all the departments are here, so it gets really kind of chaotic. So just sort of as you make your way around campus, you'll kind of get a feel for how the groove of Berkeley goes. Also, remember, the 5 weeks goes by really quickly. And if I can tell you one thing that's most important out of anything that I tell you, is Berkeley is a valuable resource in terms of networking. All of the people that are sitting in this room, all the people that were in the first group, all the 12-week students, all the faculty, these are all people who are either professional musicians, who have been in the industry for many years, who are just getting started in building your career. If you're someone that doesn't like to socialize, or you kind of keep to yourself, that's fine, but you may lose out on an opportunity to meet the people, like you said. Dream Theater was all met here.
5 week
Imagine Dragons, whatever, you know, those guys. What other bands have come out of Berkeley? That, you know, every year during Grammy season, we get an email that says 500,000 Berkeley students have gotten nominations or awards at the Berkeley, you know, awards. So the network is here for you to use, and you should take full advantage of it. There are people that can really catapult your career in the next phase of your life, or you just meet the people that, you know, can inspire you to get better in your career or more knowledgeable. Because once you graduate, you're sort of on your own to make the best of your career.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a network behind you, it's going to be tough to move forward with that. So, like I said, if you have any questions, you know, please look to me. The other most important thing I want to tell you is about, I'm sure they told you about the showcase, All-Star Showcase tryouts and auditions. The sign-up sheets for that are in my office. They're on the window outside of room 13. please bring your pen, because I'm sure that it already got stolen at this point. There are limited spots, so you go in and you sign up for the style that you would like to audition for. Now, you may be really proficient in pop rock, but you're here studying jazz because you want to get better in jazz. Your audition should be done in pop rock because you get 10 minutes to showcase your abilities in order for the adjudicators to determine whether or not you make it to the next round. So it's not a great opportunity for you to wing it and try something you've never done before. Come in with a piece prepared and put your best foot forward for that. Hold on one sec. So the first sign-up sheets are for the Saturdays, the next Saturday?
July 13th.
July 13th, and then if you make the
This
next
coming
round, you'll be told to come back to.
The callback
the
would be
callback, yeah, something
July
like that.
20th.
Right, so did you have a quick question?
Can you play the same song both rounds?
Sure, I mean, if you want to show them, I mean, it's probably the same adjudicators, so they'll be like, hey, you did that last time, or they may not. But if you feel really comfortable and strong with that piece, then go for it. Basically, it's an opportunity to show your skill set. It's not like the auditions you did over the weekend where you were sort of showing your knowledge of the rudiments and starting to.
Guys, the bottom line is always, if it sounds good, it is good. That's a big bottom line in music, so if you bring the same piece twice, it's your strong piece, and you sound great, please go ahead and do it. If it's good, it is good.
Yes.
Is there a difference between the showcase and the All-Star?
No, that's the same thing. Did I use both words? Yeah, it's Showcase All-Star, sort of. The showcase is your showcase at the end of the year, but it's also called like the All-Star Band. Yeah.
When they're going to be?
So your sign-up sheets are down in my office, and the first audition tryout is next Saturday on the 13th.
Oh, okay.
And did you have a question?
I'm not well informed about this All-Star Showcase. How will it happen? It's like a selection of the best drummer, bass player, best.
Yes. So it's an ensemble for the different genres, and it takes place at the BPC at the end of the 5 weeks.
Right.
So the genres are rock, fusion, jazz. So they take the best players, the final out of all the auditions. So yes, it is like a tryout to get to the very end, but this is sort of the first steps in the process. But at some point, the final selection of individuals will be selected to perform in the ensemble at the end of the year. Also keep in mind, if you are a hand percussionist or a world music person, there's less of you trying out, so make sure that if you're doing something that's slightly unique that could fit well for the adjudicators to put you in an ensemble, might be a good idea for you to try out on that instrument. Did you have a question?
Yeah, what is in the audition? Like, do you just play a piece?
Just
or
a prepared
just a
piece, yeah. You have 10 minutes, so
Like a snare piece, like.
more like
Think
Like
about an
a-
ensemble at the
yeah,
end, you're playing
yeah,
with the band, so.
yeah.
Nice.
Like, do you have to fill the 10 minutes, or can you just
No.
go in and?
No, because it's a little bit of like, hi, you know. how you
Adjusting
doing?
the
Yeah,
set,
adjusting.
maybe.
Okay.
You
so
bring
don't
in a
have
double
to-
pedal, whatever, 10 minutes is
If
the
you
total.
play, yeah.
I just had to make sure it wasn't a 10-minute long rock piece. I was
No,
like,
I don't think there's such a thing.
No
Yeah.
symphonies.
Well,
symphony.
Switch just here, actually. Hold on. Keep your hands up if you have questions, because I forgot. Back there.
So wait a minute, I'm not sure which
Yeah.
So there's only 3?
It's three, I'm pretty
I am
sure-
not sure how many
yeah.
showcases there are this
Yeah.
year. Check with the 5
The
week.
5 week would have a better idea, but just go in with the idea that the spaces are very limited. by the
Remember
time
one
you get
thing,
to the
there's
end.
pop rock, pop R&B, funk, fusion, and jazz. Pop R&B is kind of a vocal driven ensemble. There's more vocalists there, but needless to say, they need rhythm sections. So
And-
there's
yeah.
at least those 4 categories. Double check with 5
Yeah.
week to make
For
sure,
ensembles.
at least.
At least, yeah.
Can you audition for more than one of them?
You'll go in audition and the adjudicators will place you as needed. If they already have somebody but they really want you, they'll figure out a way to get you.
How long will those sign-up sheets be up?
So they'll be up until Friday, probably afternoon on Friday. Somebody will come around and grab them. But after you leave, we told the first group that they couldn't sign up until after 2 because it wouldn't be fair to you who had the second meeting. So I would, since you don't have too much going on today, one of the big things that we try to teach, kids when they come here is to be, proactive about stuff. So if you know that you're leaving here, just go right over there and sign up and get it off your plate. Otherwise, we've heard all the excuses and none of them really fly at this point for why you didn't get a chance to sign up.
So when you're auditioning you have to put like what genre you're trying to do?
Yeah, it's a little piece on the sign-up sheet where you can write that
What
in.
if you're like unsure about which one?
So you should put the one that you're most proficient in. They want to see how you are as a performer. So if you should go in and be like, not even thinking about it, I played this piece 100 times and I'm really good at it.
So the bands, is it funk and fusion, or is it
Funk fusion, yeah. Nice try.
Yeah. Only the all-stars will play at the end?
Yes. Yeah. And
Well, hold on, let me make sure
Okay.
we understand your question. Everybody's in an ensemble, and every ensemble will perform, each and every one of you. The showcase ensemble at the end is an extra program on top of your regular
Yeah.
ensembles.
this isn't like
You
a-
will perform, and your
yeah.
performance will be recorded. You'll go on with a
this
testimonial
is-
of your recital.
This is that
Like you-
piece
So
where,
the all-star, basically, where would it play?
They would,
Where are the...
the showcase will be held at the prestigious Berkeley Performance Center, which makes it really more even of a hype to play there because it's such a big stage and so many famous musicians performed there. So, you get a chance to play with the top players from all the other instrumental and vocal departments, but also to be doing it on a big stage, more lighting, a bigger production. If you go home with a DVD, that performance, of course, it's such a good memory to take home. But, unfortunately, that's a limited opportunity. And if you don't get in, you shouldn't feel bad about it. I mean, try. Trying will train you for the next auditions in life, but don't feel down because you didn't get the showcase. Only a few of you, really a few of you will get it. But everyone will be able to perform and just have a good time,
Throughout
Don't
your-
think that if you don't make the
Yeah.
showcase, the program wasn't successful
Yeah,
for you.
throughout your career, you're gonna be, this is just sort of just another sort of test kind of thing. Yeah, kind of thing. It's like, this is when it's not like, oh, everybody gets a trophy. This is what it's gonna be like when you go out in the real world and you have to try out for certain, so it's just prepared. I mean, even if you do come to Berkeley, I mean, your whole 4-year career here is to sort of test you and train you and make you ready for the very unforgiving world of being a musician in the industry. Any other questions about the showcase? Yes.
Sorry if you already said this, but do we need to sign any paper saying like I'm interested to do the audition and be at the audition at 30
Yeah, that's the
13?
sign-up sheet in front of my office. So you put your name
in your
down.
office?
Yep, on the
Nice.
window, bring a pen, and sign up. And there's times. It starts at 10 a.m. and there's 10 minutes blocks all the way to 1:50. So, and there should be 3 sheets because there's 3 rooms to audition in. And this does not mean that if all the spaces are taken that you can create your own time and write that down because nobody will be here to adjudicate you. There were people that were like, oh, I couldn't do it, I'm gonna be here at 7 p.m. And you'll be the only one there by yourself. Yes.
So do you think it'd be better if we waited to sign up until we got like our schedules just to?
No, because it's on a Saturday.
Oh, it's on a Saturday.
The tryout's
Oh,
on
okay.
a Saturday.
They don't
yeah.
conflict
Yeah, they
with
don't
anything
conflict.
else.
So
Okay.
you
Thank
should, the first group is probably all waiting at 9:20 if they were on the honor system and they haven't signed up yet, but they're waiting till 2 o'clock to sign up. If you see their name on there, be like, you son of a gun, cheated.
I'm taking the ACT on Saturday, so would I be able to get an alternate position time?
You may have to figure that out with the 5-week department, because that's.
The auditions are 10 to 2.
Yeah, but I mean, ACT's
Are
probably.
you taking the whole day?
Yeah, it's probably.
Like shift starts at like 8, will end at like 1:30 or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Figure that out. They might be able to work something out
Okay.
with you on that. Don't miss your ACT. That's important. Any other questions or comments or?
We got a few more things to cover as
Yeah.
far as your curriculum. So,
Yeah, I have
and then at the end, we'll probably open up for another
One
round of
more
questions.
question.
It's about the practice room.
Yes.
I know there is one in Alston. Is it
Yeah.
available for us?
So these are sort of the rooms that these are your drum set.
Yeah.
Alright, so they want you to use 171. You can use some of the other rooms. The one that you're talking about on Fordham Road. You can, if you go in there and you want to use it, it's fine. I don't know the parameters of whether or not you have to be a full-time Berkeley student in order to, but I know some people that have been using the practice rooms in 161 without a problem. Remember, summer's a little bit slower, so you may be able to just go in there. Fine. I would start with 171 if you're having trouble getting a room. Then yeah.
Yeah.
do it on summer.
I just live in Alston.
Yeah.
Do you have to like, I don't know how to say it, but like
Reserve.
reserve
Mm-mm.
the room?
No, it's first come, first served. So just remember there are, just like anything else, there's busy times. If you find that all of your fellow students are taking classes at the exact same times, they're all gonna probably go to the practice rooms right after their classes. So you never know. Maybe you have to wake up at 8 and get ready to be the first in line for 10. Actually, don't wake up at 8. It opens at 10. You should wake up at 9 and go over there at 9:45. Yes.
I heard that you might be able to book ensemble rooms if you wanted to jam with other instruments. Is that possible?
So you can't do that in the percussion rooms. Students can't, even the regular full-time students can't book rooms. It has to be done through faculty. Just there's too much liability involved. That being said, if there's a practice room that you want to use and it's got all the instruments in there and it's during normal practice times, you can go in and use it. That's fine, but there's no reserving.
As far as the drum set too, I brought like a whole bunch of cymbals, and I haven't really been able to put my cymbals on any of the drum sets.
Yeah, so it's sort of, the reason that all that stuff is there is because they want you to just use the stuff that's here, because then it limits the amount of stuff that because then we're not liable for your own personal equipment. Some practice rooms allow you to bring your own cymbals. I'd have to figure out which buildings those are, but for 171, everything's provided.
All the steps in the bottom of 150 don't have symbols on them.
Yeah, same with 160.
So you could bring your
So you can bring your
cymbals to
if
those
you have.
rooms.
Maybe ensembles, what is mentioned?
Most of the room, depends. Most ensemble rooms that have drum sets are gonna have cymbals that are already there.
Cymbals and felts.
They're like locked down with bolts and stuff like that. Thievery. Yes.
There's also practice rooms in 160
Yeah.
on the fourth.
Right. Yeah.
You can use your symbols there.
You can use cymbals there. It's just a matter of finding out which rooms. You may want to talk to the 5-week department. They may want you to specifically use 171.
But I think boys and people that identify as boys can use.
Yeah, it's an all girls dorm.
Yes.
160.
We cannot go to 150 to practice.
What?
Girls cannot go to 150 to practice and boys cannot go to 160 to practice.
I did not know. No.
Yeah.
That's you may want to go speak to the 5-week.
Yeah,
department
these
on
are
that one.
5-week.
I did not know that. Any other questions? Questions? All right, Sergey.
All right, few minutes to let you know that you got your technique class, you got your reading class, then you will have a private lesson, one-on-one lesson, 30-minute, once a week. So you'll have 5 individual lessons. The curriculum in that lesson is pretty open. That's a great opportunity for you to work with a professional drummer or percussionist, depending on what your principal instrument is, or vibes player. And you can interact and use that half hour to work on specific skills that you may be in need of developing, or maybe you're working in the ensemble and there's a song that seems to be a little more complicated. You don't have a certain set of skills that you would want to have. Your private teacher is the best person to help you and make you function in that capacity. Okay, so utilize it in full. You can prepare questions for your teacher, or maybe first 2 weeks you want to analyze some left hand technique because it has been bugging you. You wanted to ask someone, how do I get better with my left hand or with my right hand? And then throughout, you finish the second week and you go like, well, I think I got it. Let me see if this person can help me with my foot pedal technique, or how to play polyrhythms, or what polyrhythms are. Again, keep it open. Use the teacher almost as a private tutor. It is. That person is really there to help you, okay? Other classes you will have. You all have an ensemble, of course. That's the main thing of the program here. And because of that ensemble, which is part of the ensemble department, and it's ran by the 5-week office, we in the percussion department have a class that will prepare you to function better in that ensemble, okay? And that class could be either an instrumental lab or a styles lab. Let me explain you a little bit the difference. Some of you might have the instrumental prep lab. Some of you might have what you'll see on the schedule, styles lab. So let's say you signed up for jazz and you see styles lab, jazz. That means you go, and in that class you work on generic jazz skills on how to work better and function in a jazz ensemble. It could be playing different styles of jazz, traditional, contemporary. It could be about playing odd meters as they apply to jazz. It could be about reading jazz charts. It could be about certain techniques that will make your jazz sound better. So the Styles Lab is basically a reinforcement to your ensemble in the style that you have chosen.
Is it a mandatory?
Required for everybody. You will have it. If you don't have a Styles Lab, you have the other lab, the instrumental, prep lab, so we call it. That is even more so something that prepares you specifically to function in the ensemble. So the prep labs, the instrumental prep labs, happen in the first part of the week, and you'll be working with a teacher along with your other classmates on the same exact songs, the specific songs that you're gonna perform with your ensemble on Friday and Saturday. So it kind of gives you an opportunity to review the music ahead of time. Typically, if you have that class, it's because maybe your reading skills are not the best, or because you're a beginner and not an advanced player. It's all good. The bottom line is that that class will make you feel much stronger in your ensemble because you already heard the songs, and maybe, let's say you're playing a song that has a shuffle groove, and your shuffle groove is not the best. You'll spend an hour with your teacher and the classmates just working on that type of feel. So by the time you go into the ensemble, it's not cold-blooded. Oh, we're playing a shuffle feel, and you go like, whoa, I never played shuffle. Like, well, I have a little bit of experience because at least, a couple of days ago, I got to do something in that style. So this is it, pretty much. Private lesson, a lab, technique, reading, and then you have your ensemble, and of course the theory classes, which I said in the beginning, treat them just as equally important as the drum set curriculum, because they really are. The one thing we do at Berkeley that is different than some of the other schools, if you're planning on continuing the journey, maybe coming back to 5-week or becoming a Berkeley student, at Berkeley we deliver musicians, not just instrumentalists. A drummer that graduates from Berkeley, he or she is not only a drummer, It's a complete, well-rounded musician. We all take the same harmony classes, your training classes, you know. Gotta learn music as a whole. Yes, I happen to play the drums. That's my instrument. But when I play a song, I'm part of the song at all levels. I want to be part of it. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. And now 2 o'clock, you know where to go. If you want to sign up for the showcase.
Bring a pen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Give a pen.
Sure, yeah. Thank you.
Nice on the
Yeah, like, I like very much.